2, 1.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome back.
Wow, this is week 2 already. Maybe week 3.
That's the completion of week 3, actually.
Unbelievable. Time flies.
Yes, we're having an unbelievable season to start. We have some amazing teams, top of the standings. We have all of a sudden the unknowns, the Raiders, surprising everybody.
Now, the trade deadline is not officially up. I think
it's Monday. It's Monday at 4.
Monday at 4 before the games because everybody played at least 4. There's actually a team that played 6.
Right.
Sitting cozy. I don't think they're going to make any trades. But you know what? We're going to do a little different than we've done in the past. We're going to preview games that are tomorrow night.
Right. So tomorrow night's games, we have a team that had a bye, the LSU Tigers.
LSU.
And they're going up against...
Now, they're going against the Ashkenaz team, as we
the
call them.
unknowns, which is why we opened up with that.
So A.B. Sack is on the mound, not an unknown, a bulldog.
And we have A.B. Franco at second, 2 non-Ashkenaz players.
Jimmy Cohen and his brother. But now, talking about good pitching, we have the honor of having somebody help preview it, and there is some family-related, call it biasness, call it not.
If anyone that could call this as it is, it's the guy we're going to introduce right now, legendary Hall of Famer in the softball realm, A.B. Cohen. Come on, A.B.
Come on down, A.B.
How are you?
Welcome in, A.B.
This is A.B. Cohen.
Okay, so we all know who you are. You don't need to introduce yourself.
But I'm
okay.
going to tell you one thing. I'm mad at you guys. Because you guys have
I know
banned me. You made me from this league.
So,
He's banned.
Rightfully so, but you made me.
Okay, either way, that's
I never got banned.
We banned you because we saw you as a member of the media. So that's what we're introducing
like
right now.
that.
So if anyone could analyze these upcoming games, it's you.
When somebody cruises to the playoffs and says, I don't want to come, I'm sorry. But we love you.
So
This
A.B.,
team won a World Series in this
the
league,
team that you're going to be talking about is the 1-3 LSU Tigers.
Yes,
this
correct.
team features 2 of your sons.
Correct.
And
Michael and
with
Jackie.
Michael and Jackie.
And my son-in-law.
And your son-in-law, Isaac.
Correct.
Bill.
Playing very well for my...
Right,
Yes.
so Bill had a great showing last week.
Now, the reason why
And-
this is big, the center fielder is Michael Cohen. The
That's right.
shortstop is Jackie
Jackie
Cohen.
Cohen.
From what I saw so far to date, Michael's head is not in the game.
You know what? Before we go there, I want to say Jackie's head is in the
Yeah,
game.
he's playing very well.
He's playing a great
Jackie's
shortstop, and he's hitting the ball.
From what I hear, he's really doing
He
it.
looks like he's locked in.
Maybe give us your thoughts on what you are they going to turn it around? You know Michael better than anybody.
I believe if Michael's head's in the game and he gets his team riled up and they play around him, they should
But we
make
know
it.
that we saw the back-to-back World Series losses, but we saw him get there. But I'm asking you, you see him right now, you see him every single
Is there
day.
something?
You work with him.
Is there something missing?
Yes, there is. His
So-
head has to get into the game.
I know
he got into golf, and what are you going
He
to
was
do?
nagging with a little shoulder
Right,
injury.
yeah, he told me
They-
yesterday his shoulder's much better.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So
So
do
the
you
bye week
think,
may
listen,
help.
Yeah.
listen, we're in a league right now where they can't just turn it on late because there's too many good teams.
There's a lot of good teams.
So the
from what I
question
gather.
we have to you is, I know is it too little too late? Can they do
No,
it? Is it
they
going to
definitely
come?
could do it. And in softball, anything can happen. In other leagues, we've seen teams.
Hot teams get on.
Teams are like 1-8 or 0-8 and make it to the semifinals.
Right,
So
that's
anything
correct.
can happen.
Listen, we have a very balanced
Anything
league, as you know.
100%.
AB,
Now,
so
it's
listen,
getting late early. It's a 12-game season, so tomorrow night,
It's a big
I
game.
think they need at
critical.
least one to
That's the
stay
split.
really
I agree.
battled.
That's the
I agree.
split.
If they lose 2, they're not dead,
But it'd be
but
difficult.
they're on life support.
It'd be very
So
difficult.
I'm not going to ask AB to make a prediction.
No,
But
he's
you know
obviously
what?
gonna pick-
Let's make a prediction. What do you got?
I predict that there's going to be a split.
wow.
It's
Oh, no,
split.
so listen.
Yeah, you have to go to the safe route. You have to.
But AB, this Raiders squad, a bunch of boys from Lakewood, are coming in ready to play.
I saw them play.
Chips on their shoulders. They really are ball players.
Now, guys that are really
Big
Jags,
boys.
yeah.
Now, I don't know if
That
it's an
won the-
advantage.
Yakubovich, yeah.
you guys good.
I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage. Eddie Nissim was acquired in a trade.
Right.
Eddie Nissim himself has seen this team.
So
So
he knows.
he saw them,
So he
which is a
knows.
plus.
It's actually,
but again,
or
he
that
saw him.
could work against him because
Right.
usually the second time facing a pitcher, you have his number.
Now, game 1, Eddie pitched great, and it was on a day where he pitched 3 the day before in another
Correct.
league.
Right.
Right.
So, Eddie
you
Nissim,
you have to discount that.
but you got to give Eddie can help with the scouting.
Yeah.
Let's
Come
quickly,
with
let's
position
quickly
guys.
talk about Eddie Nissim. Let's talk about him right now. He already is embattled, as we say. He came in
Right.
looking to have a great season.
Right.
He's been walking way too many guys, way
Early
above
in the
his,
season,
way
too.
above the way he's been pitching in Brooklyn,
Great.
etc. And listen, Eddie was traded for Ralph Tuna Sutton. Tuna was one of these boys. Tuna was a guy that I guess was one of the Balbino
Part of the
types.
glop bite run.
And
you know?
listen, Michael
He's a
Solomon, he's shaking things up. He acquired his guys that he had last year, and B, he got rid of Tuna. And Tuna said he's ecstatic. Tuna was not happy on that
Now,
squad. So,
Eddie Nissim, I think the walks, I'm not blaming Michael Solomon, Saban, I should say, but I think maybe the chirping in his ear didn't help.
No.
He'll say not, but it could be. And I think maybe Tuna played with Michael Solomon. That's why that trade might be good. Eddie Nissim, maybe with a gritted catcher as Michael Melech, could help.
Yeah, we'll
He's
see.
a very good catcher too, by the way.
So-
They have a good team. They
Have a
just
good
have
team.
to gel.
So
They gotta
And
gel.
that's
JB's
why-
calling a split. I think LSU also is going to pull out a win based on this trade.
I think LSU is getting swept.
If they get swept, their season
I
is
am.
over.
I think no. I think the following week they're gonna come back strong. But I think it's not enough.
That's an edge prediction.
I'm giving a sweep to the Ashkenaz team. AB Saka's only pitching better and better.
Right.
And they have a good defense behind him, and he's good.
And the truth is that what's important is that it's fire under the Cohen boys.
Right.
Let's
Tonight.
see. Sometimes the
All right,
better
so
you
AB
play, the better competition, the better you
Listen,
play.
it was beautiful having Hall of
Good luck,
Famer,
honey.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
Maybe one day he'll be back in the league if you commit to every single week. But until then,
I still need my vacation days.
all right, so that's it.
We'll see ya.
AB, great. Now let's talk about actually last week's game.
Last week's game was a lot of fun. Now this is a league that, as we keep saying, talk about balance. It's really balanced.
Yeah, there's the one weak team, quote unquote, was the team we just spoke about,
And
but they're not
have-
weak. They're strong.
And they have
They're
all-stars that haven't performed yet. We'll get
Solely
to it.
Cohen has not been playing.
Right.
The whole team. Either way, let's talk. There's a lot of storylines running right now. Game one of this past week, it was the aforementioned Raiders against Gonzaga.
Ooh, this is a great
Right.
matchup. Two teams playing for first place.
Right. So there was a 4-0 Gonzaga going up against it was at the time
2-0.
2-0, and so basically, essentially, first place was on the line. Game one, the Raiders, they came out smoking.
It was a good game.
8-0
but they
final
but they
score.
won 8-0. They got one big inning where all the guys from Sumi to
Rookie of the week, so
and Nachman and AB Saka had some hits, and AB Saka was his first time on the mound, and he was humming.
and he was humming. I heard he pitched unbelievable.
He came off the mound
he
saying, "I
pitched-
feel like I'm throwing faster now than I do Sunday morning."
He pitched to his first round talent, and that was it. That was
and
perfect.
what was great was when he had a lead, he didn't walk a guy in their defense. Nachman Jakubowicz. Week one didn't look great at short. He looked great.
You know, he's got to
game
get
one.
comfortable at night
Right.
with the lights. Listen, that team is only going up. That's team in my early World Series prediction. Right now, the way they're gelling
You think
together,
they're gonna be there?
I think they're a team that is either.
Yeah, and there was a question like, is AB Saka going to mix with these guys?
Listen, this game right now, Gonzaga versus Raiders, is potentially a World
to
Series
be World
matchup.
Series, depending on seeding and
Right.
stuff. But when you have a team of good players, friends, not friends, you become friends. When you have a
100%.
close-knit, good defensive team that can hit the ball.
I heard
they
rumors
look
that
great.
AB Saka took out the Jakuboviches for dinner
He
at the
did.
Glattbite.
That's right, and they changed
After
their
the
name to
game.
Sakabovic. That's what
Right,
they said.
Sakabovich, perfect.
That's right.
So that game
Game
one
one.
was the Raiders. Game
Game
two,
two, I give game ball straight to one man. They worked out a split. Game ball goes to Ralph Hannon.
Right.
That
Ralph,
guy
the
showed
Bulldog.
some cojones.
He was a bulldog.
He started the game with a 2-run homer.
Wow.
That was hit way over the center fielder's head. One hopped the wall and he just walked around with what power. Took a lead, and then he really took the game in his own hands
well,
on
the
the
game,
mound.
the game was 2-up. Let's fast
2
forward
up.
to the 7th inning, and there was a questionable call at first base, which actually
Yeah, very close
enabled them to score 2 runs.
That was-
but
by the way,
compared to them.
Ralph Hannon is the one that hit that ball and he hustled down the line.
There you go. So final score of
Yeah.
that was 4-2 on the split. Gonzaga, they pulled out a huge win over there, maintained first place position.
Now, one
early
thing,
on.
I'll give Gonzaga and AB Saka a compliment both ways. AB Saka had the 3-4 hitters. Stephen Gindi and Joseph Ferrati, I think, were hitless on the night.
Right.
So that's AB Saka really honing down the defense, playing well. But credit to the Gonzaga team. When your big boys aren't hitting or hitting the ball hard but not getting on, and you pull out a win, that's a great win. That's just so signs of a great team.
And then Tuesday we didn't have games, but Wednesday we had games.
July 4th, everybody
Right?
enjoyed themselves.
Everyone hope you had enjoyed the festivities, family, fireworks, barbecue.
That next night
But
was
the next night was fireworks.
the Gamals coming out party.
So let's just put it out like this. The Gamals felt severely disrespected being traded from an 0-2 team at the time. They felt like they didn't even give us an opportunity to shine.
I think they put Melech's picture on the walls in the outfield.
But listen,
And
Melech
they're just
wasn't
trying
too
to hit it.
happy that Banana Gate happened, that
Right.
they left it, one of the Gamals
And
left.
Albert didn't come to play week one. I
So-
know it was his first game back.
Listen, I'm going to call it as it is. I don't think Albert came to this league looking to have that fire, but that fire was rekindled
It just got
when he
ignited.
was traded, and now he's trying to have an MVP campaign.
Doubles
So-
and a triple.
and ribbies. He had 7 RBIs.
2 scoops at first base.
Better off. He even went to left field. And
That's
Isaac
right.
Gamal played shortstop when he had to.
Joe
So
had a little pulled groin, and Isaac turned the double play.
Right, Isaac was
smooth
playing.
at short.
This game belonged to the Gamals.
Right.
There's no other way
now,
to put it.
JoJo Soria was player of the week as well.
Yeah, no, but JoJo, he was the first overall pick. He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
He hit the triples, he hit the home runs, he
Played
did
a good
everything he had to do.
short.
Played good shortstop. Final score game 1, it was actually not as close as the final score indicates. It was actually a 5-3 game going into the 7th inning, and then boom, they exploded. Post July 4th festivities, fireworks. They scored, I don't know, 15 unanswered runs.
And now again,
But wait.
there's a lineup we were questioning before the season.
But
the
we-
addition of the Gamals really made this team a lineup.
But let me say
The
something.
Natan team I'm talking
This
about.
this Natan team, I didn't think going into this after the draft they had what it takes to be even
Now,
a playoff
now
team.
you're a believer.
I'm a believer. They play with a purpose. I think they still have to shore up a little bit at third base and shore up a little bit around in right field. They have to figure out their positioning. They have the players to do it. Just as a matter of fact, if they're going to do it the right times in the right places, that's Natan.
Big shout out Natan's team. We're talking about the Gamals and JoJo. Big shout out to Victor Abadi. This guy is a find.
Victor Abadi, I think he had 5 hits.
Right, we thought he was just going to be a glove,
But
he's more than
he's
a glove.
He's a complete package.
He's a real player. He's got a heck of a lot of
Listen,
speed.
once again, another rookie showing
Yep.
his worth and
Shining big.
This is why the league is so great right now. Every rookie is playing.
It's funny. He's in
unbelievable.
right field. Right field is a gold mine.
I
this
think
field.
their best defensive alignment is actually keeping him in right and keeping
Yeah.
Bobby in left.
It's
They're
more important.
questioning, do we put the better fielder in
They're
left?
both great out there, and Victor's tracking everything.
I think Victor's making more of a difference in right than he would make in a left.
Fair enough. Bobby's killing the ball.
Right.
Also nagging with a little bit of a groin now. Let's see how he recovers from that.
Right.
But they look good now. Who'd they beat? That's the question. They
Right.
beat Woody.
No, so now the main focus of this, we didn't even mention the biggest story of the night.
We'll get there.
Was Mound Gate. So right now we measured the fields obviously before the game, and I measured it
65
exactly.
foot bases,
65 to first
46.
and third, 46 to the mound, and in the middle of third, fourth inning, Ike Mavor's like, Sam, I think that
Seems
mound
far.
is far. They didn't actually call for a measurement, which was their mistake.
Now, you know, it's funny. That's a rookie captain type mistake.
Right.
If you're Isaac Woody Norwood,
You
I'm
gotta ask for
very
it.
surprised.
They
We
kept on
have the
saying,
measuring.
it looks far, and I'm out. They
Call
didn't ask
for it. You ask for it,
We
you
have
get
the
it.
measuring tape right here, ready to measure. It was never
Very
done.
interesting.
When we actually did pull the measure, listen again, it was 5-3 in the seventh, so let's relax.
it was a
here.
close game.
But when we actually did pull the tape out, it was 50 feet. It was 4 feet longer.
That's a big difference.
and they questioned
That's-
Freddie Hitter if it was him. He swears it wasn't him. But
didn't
then,
say anything in
the
the
new
beginning.
wrinkle, we asked David Fallis if it was him, and he didn't deny it. So David Fallis
here's
might be
the-
the one backing it up himself.
And just to say, I'm not going to name people, but somebody very close to this league who plays in the league, who's a diehard for the league, and is a great guy in the league. I didn't even talk about the story with him, and he mentioned to me on his own, you know, I don't know why, but that Fallis kid's a great pitcher. He likes backing up the mound. I think he feels comfortable. I
So,
said, what
do
did
we
you just
have
say?
a guarantee who it was and who
We don't
actually
know.
made it? We don't know. But from now on, we're going to take a nice, like
Yes.
a golf tee type of marker, nail it in.
To nail
I don't
it in.
care who wants to move it back. Listen, we're not
We'll
allowed
see
to
it. There's going to be a colored tee. We're going to be aware. Again, if you want to ask for a measurement,
ask all you want.
ask. You'll get it.
But
That's
Mound
the
Gate
rule.
was a big deal.
Was.
It was 5-3. They did pull Fallis, bring in Mark. It wasn't fair to Mark because it was
Came in a
a
bad
sloppy
spot,
type
yeah.
of game. But that's
Game
how
two.
Game 1 ended 17-3. Game 2 was actually a really tight ball game.
Great game.
Game 2, final score was actually 9-7.
9-7, but it was 6-6, and I feel like Natan's team could have put the foot on the throat and just chose
All right,
not to.
they didn't. They were too
And-
loosey-goosey.
Yeah, and by the way, Norwood's team, knowing Norwood, I thought he was going to pull out that
Right,
win.
so that's a team.
It didn't work out.
That's a game usually that team wins that. I
Yeah.
feel like they are missing Ray at third base. The first base position's killing them right now.
Not that Eddie Michon's not playing a good third, but like you said.
No, I think
if
by
Eddie
putting
goes to
Ray at
first,
third, Eddie at first, and that whole field becomes a better
right,
field.
Steven Asun will end up in right field.
Right, listen, that's hurting them right now. They're on. Listen, there's 3 teams that are fighting for the not to be in the last 2 spots,
which
in
is
the
big.
basement right
Means
now.
they're all in it, of
Right,
course.
so one of them is this team, one of them is LSU Tigers, and the third team that's fighting to be outside the basement
Norwood's the other
right
one?
now is, I'll tell you right
Oh,
now.
then we have Saban's team,
Oh,
which
the
we're going to get
Cubs,
to.
right.
The Cubs.
So now let's actually segue into the Cubs. Thursday
Wow.
night,
Talk
we had-
about fun. It was. There's a few more videos that are gonna go up on
Right.
Instagram, but you guys saw how it ended. Before it gets to the ending, let's see how it started.
Right.
Michael Solomon's team going against Joe
Blackhawks.
Greenberg, the Blackhawks.
Black Hawk down. There you go.
Blackhawk down. So that's what it was, game 1.
Right.
Not a bad game.
No,
What was the final score.
Final score was 5-3 Cubs.
5-3. Eddie Nissim, who pitched very well game 1. He had one bad inning where he walked a bunch.
Now traded.
And now traded, right? He ended up coming up with a runner on first and 2 outs, a 3-3 game in the 7th.
Right.
And Eddie Nissim hit a 2-run homer. Was it a shot over ahead?
No.
No, it wasn't. Lou Haber, by the way, first and second, 1 or 2 outs. Ali Marshall crushed one into the right center field gap, and Louis Haber made a great catch. That's also one of the videos that will go out. What a catch, Lou Haber! But then later in the game, 7th inning, I think it was 2 out. Eddie Nissim hit a in the air a lot low liner, had a lot of English on it. bounced and went to we love to call the black hole.
Yeah, it's the black hole.
The black hole in this field is that
Bermuda
right,
Triangle. It
that
goes
right
over there.
field. It gets stuck. It doesn't come out. And Eddie Nissim, credit to him, mowed it around the bases. Hit the game-winning hit for a team he's not on anymore.
Right, no, so that's actually pretty funny. They're
Now
actually
they go up to win. That was their first win of the season. First win of the season. 1-2 is their record.
that was a huge win for them. They
Big
came forward
win.
0-3 hole.
Right.
Game 2 was actually, I think, to date, the craziest game of the season so far.
What a game.
It was one of those crazy seesaw battles that ended off in a walk-off. Be
Well,
my guess.
talk about walk-off. At the end of the day, now Joe Chira playing center field wasn't big at the plate. He didn't have a great day at the
Listen,
plate.
Joe's not coming in with the right frame of mind yet. I believe
that.
once he gets comfortable with the team, he'll come in
And
with
when he
more.
sees his team is coming to play and these guys want to win, big shout out, Maurice Haber,
Right.
crushing the ball.
Right, so Maurice,
hard line drives
this
all over
team
the field.
fits him very well.
Yes,
He
and
has
he's
his
the leader.
boys-
And he's the
boys
leader.
in the team. I know Billy Miz was hurt, so his son Jackie was there as well.
Right, we'll see how that goes.
So, Rafah Shilma, Billy, hope to see you next week. But he has his son Louis there. He has Abraham watching on the bleachers. He has Greenberg, which they're close
Greenberg was
with.
friends with, right.
So this is a good camaraderie type of team.
And he's not the captain. We know that. Joe Greenberg is the captain.
But he's the voice.
He's the voice, and I'll tell you what, the game started, game 2, down 6-0. And there was real hits. A lot of bloops into left field.
And 6-0 is a big deal. This is why they traded Eddie Nissim, I believe.
So now, 6-0. No. 6-0. Maxie did give up 6 runs to start
I'm
the game.
sorry, yeah.
Michael Solomon's team goes up 6-0. They're smelling the sweep. Smelling it easily. And I remember hearing the first thing the guy said on the Blackhawks team. We chip away, which is what you do. Jackie Haber, home run to lead off the inning.
This is my point. This is why Eddie Nissim was.
Made it 6-1.
Right.
Okay, right. That's where you're going on that. 6-1. They chipped away, made it 6-2. Then there was a big 6-4. Ended up being 6-6.
Listen, games like
Well,
this.
no, I shouldn't. I mean, I fast forwarded there. I'm sorry. Ended up being, what was final score in the game?
8-7.
8-7. Down by 2 in the last inning. Top of the lineup is up. 1, 2, and 3. Jackie Haber, Joe Greenberg, 2 guys you don't want to face.
Right.
And Joe Chira batting 3rd in the inning. Jackie Haber grounds out to 1st. Joe Chira makes out. Joe Greenberg makes out. 2 out, nobody on, up by 2. 1 more out, you get a sweep.
So this is it. On the line, sweep. You're right back in the mix. 2-2 would be huge.
Joe Chira, a lot of speed at the plate, puts the ball on the ground. You know he'd probably get on base. He worked out a walk.
Wow, so that's a big walk right there.
Mo Casson didn't have a great day at the plate. Hit a couple balls hard. There was one dead ball that he hit that they say could have went over ahead, but it was an out. Works out a walk.
Okay, it's a big walk again.
This is when speed kills because Joe Greenberg goes to first base as a runner.
This is it. And he's the most reckless speed in the base
My
pass.
goodness.
Beautiful.
He's at first. Joe Chira, a lot of speed on second. Tying runs on first with Maurice Haber at the plate.
And Maurice is the guy you want up here.
Oh my
He's
God,
that
Griddle.
grit. He's that veteran. He's that
0-2 count.
unbelievable.
So now he fouled off one great pitch to the parking lot on the right side. Now 2-2 count. He fouled off a low pitch, staying alive. Next pitch, we have it on video. You will see it soon. Hard shot up the middle. Off the bat, I thought maybe Ali Marshall could get a glove on it. I didn't think he'd get an
Al
out.
did have a tough day at shortstop.
He didn't have a great day, but I didn't think he'd get an out. But I thought he'd maybe knock it down. Not an easy play. Went through for a hit. Joe Chira came home easily. Joe Greenberg went 1st to 3rd.
Beautiful.
And then what we love to call the Woody play.
Right.
Maurice Haber went off of first
Dances
base.
off of first base.
Jimmy
It's patented
Malach.
by Isaac Norwood.
Jimmy Malach holding the ball. Joe Greenberg, who's probably the best base runner in the league, and he's reckless in a good way, comes off a 3rd. Jimmy Malach looks, throws a 150-mile-an-hour ball.
So let's call that out right now. Listen, you have to realize Jimmy Kassab's not going to catch a bullet that you
Now,
throw to him.
it was a good throw. It was on target, but the ball was really thrown fast, pressure situation with a really speedy, big, strong, lumbering Joe Greenberg. Ball went by him, safe.
Beautiful.
Tied the game. Maurice is on second. Maxie D goes on. Line drive, base hit with 2 out.
Right.
They brought in Jimmy Malach to pitch.
Wow,
This is not the first time they did it.
So listen, is that the right decision to do over here? I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I don't think it is.
Sammy Red, who was 0 for the day against Eddie Nissim, hits a line drive, as you saw it on Instagram.
Left center field.
Base hit, left center,
Walk
wins
off.
the game. They're 2-2. Michael Solomon's team turns into disarray. I don't want to say what they said. That's what triggered the trade.
Obviously.
And he seems, like you said, he's embattled in a lot of leagues. In this league, he's pitched great for the last 2 years.
Right.
I still think he's going to come back strong.
Well, I think
but welcome, Tuna.
It's a good change of scenery
Yeah,
for both, I think.
both teams needed it. I think both pitchers are happy. Tuna is now on the Sabon team. Both teams are 1-3.
All right, so now we already talked about what game one's going to be this coming week.
Right, we got 2 more games.
There's 2 more. Listen, I don't even think we should preview them. Let's talk about when they're over because I think we're running on overtime right now.